standing breathing practice just before we do our regular stretch. So just kind of, you can even put your hands on your rib cage if you want to, just make sure you get that nice full breath. So inhale. Hold just for a few moments and then let it out. Exhale slowly. And you can get your own rhythm if you like. You go, if you want to count, you can inhale on 4, exhale on 4. You got to your own counting, or you can play around with the ratios, inhaling and exhaling, you know, maybe a little bit longer count. Okay, so let's work with our 8 pieces of brocade. You ready? Inhale up. Hands over. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down.
It just froze.
It will unfreeze. Just give it a moment.
Okay, no, it's fine now.
I can't actually control the freezing from my end. It has to do with, I guess, the internet or maybe your connection. Okay, one more time. Inhale up. Okay, let's open up a little bit. Okay, we'll do remember our hip turning and our feet turning at the same time. Okay, so let's inhale. Now, if you look at my back, it's not this and it's not this. Try to keep it as long as, you know, your back as long as possible. Inhale. And then exhale. And when you turn your head, pull the chin in a little bit. Okay, inhale. And then exhale. When you turn the head, pull the chin in, lengthening the back of the neck. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Feet together. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale out. Let's work a little bit of the robot. So I'm going to turn and just feel that turning of the arm bone in the shoulder socket. And just work the other way too. Notice the angle of the shoulder still kind of slopes down a little bit. And you can breathe with that at each end. Okay, ready? So let's inhale and then exhale. Inhale. Nice full breath. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Okay. So we'll go ahead and reach and throw down. Ready? So reach and relax down. 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Let's look a little bit of our forearm and wrist. So let's go with this firm fist if you can. Up, over, and down. Back up again. One. And then fingers behind. Back up again. Down. So my fingers are facing back, and now I'm going to curl my fist. Turn the fist over. One more time. Up. Down. Reach the hand back. Okay, then last sequence. And then one more time here. 1, 2. Okay, and then we can just shake it out a little bit. Let's do a little bit of hip mobilization. Let me see if I can angle this down a little bit. All right. So a little hip mobilization here. So remember, watch with the knees. So keep the knees. And then we're just 1. Hold your back steady, please. So it's all in the hip. Okay. And let's reverse. Let me give you also a side view. So I am hinging back a little bit. And I don't hinge forward like this. When I come forward, I just kind of, I'm still straight. Okay. So I'm not doing any hip extension forward. It's called hip extension where you kind of go like that. Okay, let's do a couple more. And you can play around with a little bit more rotation in the joint. See, you might want to even try a little figure 8. Okay. And then see if you can do figure 8 the other way. You might notice that one way might feel more, I don't know, natural than the other way. Okay. All right. Okay, let's work a little bit of our hamstring stretch with a hip hinge. So remember, keep this back nice and neutral. Only go as far as comfortable. So you even just feel a slight tug even. And breathe into it. And when you come up, you're going to inhale before you come up and exhale to come out of it. Let's switch. So you can inhale and exhale as you relax and just breathe into the stretch. And then inhale and exhale to come out. Good. And then we do this. And we can do a few swings. Okay. So I do want to make sure that when we do the swing that we don't torque our knee. You know, your foot, your lower leg does have a little bit of rotational tibial rotation, but it doesn't have a lot. In other words, you can turn your foot and your knee can stay in one place, but it doesn't have a very much of it. So just be careful. So we'll just do a few swings. All right. So you can just. So I'm letting the front foot come up. So I allow that not to torque, and I'm trying to keep this knee in line with its toe. Okay. And we're just going to have a few things we can even work on with the hip. Try to keep upright and move from the lower body. Keep the chin in. Okay. You can tap yourself lightly. Get a sense of what your shoulder blades are doing, how they're holding you up. Okay, pulling the chin in. You can do a little bit of keeping the feet straight and just working, you know, it was controlled probably not the right word, but more, you know, careful movements about the hip joint. Okay. So I'm not taking the movement, trying to take the movement in the knee. Just breathe, tap yourself. Okay, so let's kind of take it up then. One, and then up. Let the back foot turn. Okay. And you can find your own breathing pattern to this. We're just trying to get all the joints working. All right. And then we'll go ahead. You know, I think a few weeks ago, or months ago, I introduced some silk reeling exercises. So we'll go ahead and try those again. Okay, so silk reeling, the concept is every joint in your body is connected, and you move the body part appropriately for the type of joint it is. So there are joints that just hinges and joints that kind of, you know, rotate. The shoulders are one of the more mobile joints. Okay, so the knee joint's kind of mainly only going like this. So I'm going to take my feet, point them in one direction a little bit, take the hand that's in the direction I'm pointing to, and we're just going to relax, hold the body upright, and feel your weight centered into your hips, and how that weight kind of spreads out through the legs and into the floor. And we just relax, keep the chin in. And you don't need to go very deep. You can just, so long as you feel like you're just sitting a little bit, like you're just about to sit down, let the arms just fall. And then you're about to sit up out of the chair. Don't get all the way out of the chair, and and just kind of come down again. So I'm making very small moves. Okay. And I'm just turning a little bit at the waist. I could get a little closer. I could get a little closer. Okay. So turning at the, so here's my waist. Okay. So I'm turning at the waist, coming up, keeping the chin in, watching my shoulder blades, keeping my shoulder blades tucked into the back. Okay, the bottom of my shoulder blade, the tip of the shoulder blade is staying tucked into the back. Chin in. Just have the hand follow the hip. Watch the knee. Make sure the knee, you know, keep the knee. And just go nice and slow at your own pace. Okay. Just double check you're not leaning over or leaning back. Everything should be straight on, right? Everything should be straight. So everything needs to be straight. Just nice and easy. I just have the hand like follow your belly button almost. So here's my belly button. I turn my belly button. I let my belly button go lower. Turn my belly button. Let my belly button go up and turn. Take the tension out of your arm. The arm should be soft, but you know, active. My hand is working too, like I'm working all the little the wrist joint too. I could even work the fingers a little bit. My glasses, you know, they're not really sunglasses. They're photochromatic. So I'm just kind of looking like you would never see my eyes because I'm outdoors. Okay, just relax. And you let the arm follow the body. Okay. So the body wants to relax and turn and sink. I turn my hips to help make this movement. I turn in the hip. Okay, now not everybody has a little bit different hip range of motion. Right? So if your hip motion only can go to here, that's where you go. Okay. So it kind of gets us to know where your hip, how much, what you have here. So the arm is kind of irrelevant at the moment. It just kind of helps you give a little bit more expression. But this is the motion in here. Okay. You can add a little bit of leg strength to this. Okay, ready? So when I come here, I can imagine pushing off this leg to make this arm, to make this hip turn. And then when I come back, I can imagine the weight settling down on this leg, strengthening this leg. This leg is pushing on this leg and pushing out. So it's a very active movement because my legs are really driving the movement. When I sink, I'm putting weight on my legs, right? And when I come up, I'm pushing off the leg to lift my hand up. So you can imagine you have something very heavy in your hand, but you don't need to grasp it tensely. You just have to have a hold of it and then use your legs to lift your hand up. So you can think of letting your arm just sit on your leg, and you want your hand or your arm to come up, and you got to use your leg to bring your arm up. Relax the shoulder, chin in. Okay. Okay, so let's give a little bit of a break. That can be an intense type of exercise. You can take it at what level of intensity you feel is appropriate for you. Okay. All right, so we're going to try two hands at once. So one hand, we've been doing this hand, right? So they're just kind of like hands of a clock. Okay, so one hand here, and then one hand is down, one hand is up. And they come to the clock, 12 and 6, and they spread out. Okay. 12 and 6, and relax. Okay. And think of how would you have to use your hip and your legs to do the arm movement. I'm sinking into my leg. I said this is relaxing into my leg. And imagine your hip bones have to spread out to let the arm spread out. Okay. Or you can, another way to think about this is if you have to push the floor apart. Okay. You think of pushing the floor apart with your legs, or even with your glute medius, your side of your glutes. Okay, pushing the floor apart. We do some other movements too. So here we're working with some knee joints, hip joints, shoulder joints, soothing, smooth, soothing movement. At the same time, strengthening the lower body. Okay. And just following the natural movement of our arms. So we're not doing any unusual arm type of twisting kind of movement. Nice and smooth. Let's try the other way. So one palm up, one palm down, and we'll try the other way. So 12 and 6, and out. 12 and 6, and out. It's good to do both sides. And you might find one side feels more natural than the other side. Just work the legs. Prevent the knees from caving in, so try to keep your foot arch on, right? So you can think of the toes or the ball of the foot pushing on the ground, all the balls of the foot pushing on the ground. If you get a cramp in the foot, you can just relax and stand up. Means your foot muscles haven't been working a while. You're just waking them up. All right. Just one more for this side, then. Everything's relaxed. Everything just kind of the joints are just relaxed. Okay, let's inhale. So let's do, we'll go through some of the movements now, the forms of singularly and single motion, single movements. And so let's try with the push. So we'll just start from beginning posture. Okay. Hold the chin in. And we want to take a deep breath, but we don't want to stick the chest out. I don't want to be sticking the chest out. I just want to be able to stand up a little tall, open the chest without pinching the back. Okay, so let's work a little bit on that, how that would work. So just breathing, spreading the shoulder blades apart this way, not hunching over, right? All right, so let's do the first move. Lifting the hand. Feel the weight of the arm right on the rib cage, not on the shoulder. So don't try to pick the arm up with the shoulder. And then just relax. The arms just settle in. It's like this whole structure here just settles onto your ribs, and your ribs settle onto your hips, and your hips onto your feet. Okay. So I'm just going to pivot the left, I'm going to pivot this foot out. I'm going to step forward, and we'll just do our pushing from here. Nice and soft. Keep the chin in. Okay. You keep pushing. I'll switch directions so you can see, give you a different cues as we go. So as we push, there's a flat. It's not flat, but it's not like flat like that. But it's just this natural curve. And I want to get you to see if you can have that feel of, like, instead of pushing from above here like that, see if you can imagine pushing from down here, like you really, the hands are here, but you're really kind of using this part to push the hands forward. Okay. You can just breathe. We can practice a little breathing, then inhaling and exhaling. So on the when we do the single movement practice, it's I think that just being mindful of your breathing is very beneficial. It's when we get to the form, because the form can be so complex. At times there's so many movements. There's a lot to think about. So I think sometimes the breathing, until you know the form well, the breathing, you just let the breathing happen. As you slow the body down, your breathing will slow down too. So just allow the body to control your breathing. Okay. And you can do that same with these slow single practice movements. So if you slow your body down, your breathing will slow down. So get that sense that I'm pushing, I'm using the muscles under here to push. Yeah. Let's practice our step up and step back. So I'm going to put weight on the front foot, step up the back foot, and then step back with the other foot. So when I go forward, I want to try to keep my back heel on the ground. So I'm not doing this. It can almost fall forward, right? So I'll keep my back foot on the ground. And when I'm pushing, I don't want to let this back knee fall in. See how that what happened to my back knee? I want to keep that knee stable. Nice and relaxed. When you draw the hands back, imagine they just fold in, like you're not having to struggle to bring the hands back. Okay, so you just let the arms kind of just fold your body. So the hands follow your back. You move your back, hands follow. You move your back forward, hands go forward. So think of moving the back of your body first, then moving your back forward. Might be confusing back and forward, right? The posterior of your body. You move the posterior of your body forward, move the posterior of your body back. The hands just follow the posterior of your body. All right. Okay, let's just relax here. So let's do a push into single whip, and there's a thing I want us to try with the single whip posture, and it doesn't have to be a traditional type of thing. So let's just step into the push. Okay. Now when I do the single whip posture, I'm going to pivot in my hips. I'm going to have my feet follow. Oh, hold on. Could you hold on a sec? Hello? Hello?
Hi, is this Robert?
Yes.
Hi, it's Danielle giving you a call from Charles Schwab. How are you?
Oh, good, Daniel. Can I call you back a little later?
Yes, you can give me a call back later. I just wanted to touch base with you on something. So give me a call back by the end of the day if that's okay.
That's okay. I'm in a Zoom meeting.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
worries.
All right.
Speak
All
to
right.
you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I apologize for that. I'm going to have to cut that out. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, sorry. Okay. Turn. Okay, as we turn, I'm going to turn my hips. And then I'm going to relax, right? See how my shoulders just dropped? Here we are for the single whip. Okay, so now what I want to talk about in the single whip, other than what I always talk about with like the knees, I want my knees strong, but I want to focus a little bit on what's going on with the back of my body, my posterior chain. So I don't want the shoulder blades pinching. Right? I don't want my shoulder blades. You can't really tell because I'm the funny. So I don't want my shoulder blades pinching, but I don't want them hunched. Right. Okay. So there's a put, and there's a you got to find where your shoulder blades, even though your arms are up this, because naturally when our arms are like this, we pinch our shoulder blades together. When our arms are spread out, we're used to pinching. So I want to kind of spread my shoulder blades apart, but keep my body upright without pinching the shoulder blades. So you get like a little opening in the shoulder blade. So let's just try that, right? So we can just take the single whip posture then. Okay. So this reason it's kind of like this circle because it helps encourage this not pinching of the shoulder blade. So I just want to go here, and if the arms are kind of tight, you can just kind of maybe even do something like this. So you can first, let's just get like pinch the shoulder blades together, get that feel. Okay. And then relax that feel. And you find like, oh, that feels really good. That's not pinching now. Now let's try the hunching. So if you hunch them together, punch them out. Okay. See what that feels like. Come upright. Stop the hunching. Kind of just, and then pinch them again. And then relax them. And then you'll find this like neutral place for your shoulder. Okay. And just hang out there for a few moments. But this is not to torture you. But this is just to find that natural place. Okay. And now that we're here, just feel the support in your hip and in your leg. If your arms are tight, this kind, you can just drop the arms, but then continue feeling the support of your upper body on the hips and how the hips are being supported by the legs. Right? How the hips are being supported by the legs. All right. You can come back here if you like. Okay. And if you want to do, if you want to go the other side, you can just have the hands out like this without the hook. It's fine. Matter of fact, you can just do the hands like this. Okay. Without the hook and have the feet straight ahead. And feel that. Keep the chin in. And feel how the arm and shoulder blade work together. How it kind of rests on the torso. Right. I gotta watch my neck. Yeah. Okay. You can even try the pinching them, and then unpinching them. Okay. And then let's relax. And now that is not to say you never pinch the shoulder, you never what they call shoulder blade retraction. You never retract the shoulders, you never protract. I'm not saying that, but in Tai Chi. But it's good to know that your shoulder blades can do that, and it's good to know, to be conscious of when that happens, right? So that's something you can try. Every day you can look at how you're working with your body, and seeing, what you're doing, what the habits are. All right, so let's continue on with the form. We'll go up to single whip, and we'll practice that a little bit, and we'll go into maybe some cloud hands. So we'll just do a little simple, just a little simple routine. We'll just do the beginning to a push. Okay, we'll do 3 pushes. We'll do a single whip, and we'll do 3 cloud hands. And then I like us to review, we worked on some stuff last week, so let's review that too. Okay, so ready? So let's just go with the beginning. Okay, so let's go. Inhale. And then exhale. Okay, then to the right. I'm just going to step out here this way. And then I'm just going to step up, and we're going to have our push. Nice and easy. Let's do a single whip. Okay, keep the head up so I'm not, so like keep it up, keep everything erect, upright. A single whip. Notice the arm is more like to the, not kind of 90 degrees as opposed to way back here. So just here, because it's more natural. Right? And then feel your shoulder blades. So we're not protruding them and we're not pinching them. That's very natural. And then open hook. And then we're going to work the cloud hands with this idea of the shoulder blades not pinching, but yet not hunching. Okay? Just allowing space between the shoulder blades and moving with the hip. Moving in the hip joint. Okay? Moving in the hip joint. You know that the hip can move on top of the leg bone. Okay, I'm going to step over here a little bit. And then I'm going to go the other direction. Now the leading foot can either heel or toe, whatever it works for you. I think traditionally the heel touches first, then the rest of the foot, and the trailing foot would be the front part of the foot. We talked about when I supporting my weight on one leg, I want to make sure my knee doesn't cave in, put the weight in my glute. Okay. We'll go the other way one more time. Now we'll just go back to single whip. Single whip. Where are our shoulder blades? What's our head doing? Relaxing down. Just feel this in your body. If you can feel it, you'll be able to remember it just by feel. Okay, and then open the hook. Just sweep down. We do this in parts. So open the hook down and here. Okay, it's called lift the hand. Now you at home, if you're confused which hand is for it, don't worry about it. The whole idea is just to get good body alignment, smooth movement. Okay, here we go with shoulder strike. Now there's a tendency sometimes when we step forward to let that knee fall in. Right, so just be aware of that. Okay, so wide crane spreads wings. So this is, we worked on this last week. Relax the arm, and then palm over, and then one. Little hip movement. Okay, so the weight of this arm rests here. Okay, and then step forward. Okay. Let's come back, just practice that move. We'll go the other side too. Okay, come back again. We'll practice one more time. Oh, just do 2 more times, so 5 times total. Okay, so let's step back with the front foot and we'll go try the other side. Come back, and 1 down, 1 around, using my hip motion. All right, let's do a little bit of walking with this. Notice what I did to start the walk. I go from the hip and I release the back heel a little bit. Okay. I go from the hip. The knee is still with the foot. Okay. I'm going to transfer weight, heel first, go with the hip. Okay. So let me show you from here. So I'm going to transfer weight, and I'm going to open this foot. I turn this leg in the hip joint. 1. I release this foot, and then this hip turns into the posture. Okay. So it's not the hand that's going forward. The hip goes into the posture. I will face you. We'll go ahead and practice this together now. And you can look at this as a way to strengthen your leg, work on your balance, work on that mobility in the hip joint. Don't worry about the hand so much. Okay, just think about all the movement comes from here. If you want, you can just skip the hands. Okay. Notice what I do with my foot and my hip. And then slowly transfer that weight. Release the back heel. Don't like pick it up. You're like release the back heel. And come in. Okay. Do it again. Now at home, you guys should face whichever direction. So let's do it a couple more times. And we'll work, let's do one more round of this forward, and then we'll work on backwards. Stepping in heel first and foot, come through with the movement, then turn the hip and foot, hip and leg, okay? And you can think you're like on a straight line, so I'm going straight down the line here. So let's come up. And this time we just put one hand forward and one hand down like that. And we'll practice the walking backwards. Okay. So let me just show you the posture for the walking backwards. So forward hand, forward is the forward leg is the forward hand. Okay, forward leg is the forward hand. Back hand just rests kind of by the hip. Okay. This arm, try not to hold it up. If it gets tight, just let it drop a little bit. I want my arm to rest. I want this body part to rest on this bigger body part. Okay. And I want to stick my butt. Okay, I want to keep everything upright. Chin in. Low back neutral. I'm not arching it or tucking it. Low back neutral. Okay. And then we'll relax. Let the arms open. So wave the arms rest on the body. Okay. So the back foot is slightly angled out. It's how you're comfortable. Pull the knee up. And just hinge the leg at the hip. And then place the ball of the back foot down. And then straighten that foot out. Okay. Okay, ready? So let's open. Pull the knee up. Hinge the leg at its hip joint. Drop it down. And then slide back. Hinge, drop, slide. Good. Okay, so let's practice walking backwards. I wonder how I could walk backwards. Okay, I'll face you to walk backwards. Okay. So notice where my hand is. Not out here. It's right here. My hand is here because my hip is slightly turned. Okay, so if my hip was square, this is actually very uncomfortable. Square hip, hand to the side. So turn my hip, turn the back hip a little bit, and this becomes more comfortable. Open. Step down. And notice the relationship of my feet. Okay, the inside heel is probably lined up with the inside ball of the left foot, so they're not crossed. Okay, so arm relaxing down. This hip here, the back hip is slightly back. Okay, open. Now to test your leg strength, you can just, without picking the rest of your body up, just pull the knee up and hinge the leg. Okay. Open. Just hinge the leg naturally back. Okay. It's called hip extension. So extend the hip. Okay, so let me show you what I'm not doing this. I'm doing it like that. So here's the straight line. So I'm going to go down the straight line. So the straight line, but I allow my hips to kind of rotate about this straight line. Let's practice again. 1, So let's always be natural. Imagine you're doing the backstroke. Okay, and then from here, let's practice our going forward. So again, the straight line forward. Again, my feet do not cross each other. Right? I allow this hip to open. I turn my hip into the leg. Turn my hip into the leg. Release the back heel. Do it one more time. One more time. Okay, and let's try going backwards. I just switch the hands. I leave my feet the same. Open. Okay, we talked about the pinching of the shoulder blades, right? Don't pinch the shoulder blades when you open. But don't hunch the shoulder blades. Okay, I think I'll just come back one more time. So I can get up and closer to the camera. All right. Okay, stand up. All right. We only have a few minutes left, so I think we'll work. I wanted to get over that last move we did last week. So let's just do that real quick, but then we'll do some form. Okay. So the move from last week was this turn and chop. So we would start out from this posture, which we've just been practicing. We push off, sit my butt back. Okay. So one hand high, one hand, my chest height. Look at my shoulder. Shoulder's nice and relaxed. And I'm just gonna, imagine I'm turning and chopping. I chop, turn, here. So not like this, fist is nice and straight. And then you could think of chopping this way, punching this way. Okay, so that's the turn and chop. Let's just try that again. So need a bottomless C, fan through the back, turn and chop, chop once, punch, go. So we can also make this continuous. And I think it's kind of a good idea, you come up with your own sequence, your own form. That's how they invented it, whoever the originator of Tai Chi. They had all these individual moves and they just linked them. If they could do it, you could do it. Right? My teacher, George Chu, that's what he always said to us. I can do, you could do. Right? I could do it, you could do it. What else did he say? He said, like, God is fair. You could, if I could do it, you could do it. One, two, three. Turn and chop. Draw back. Go one. You can make this big or small at your choice. I'd make it smaller just because it's kind of where I learned it. Some people make it bigger. One. Okay, so this is very much like this posture we did, but except one's the fist now. Okay. All right. Okay, so we have a few minutes. Let's try to do a bit of a form of all the moves we did today. Okay. So I will face away so you can follow. I think it'd be easier that way. All right. So let's do lift the hands. Shoulder blade, posture, chin. Here's the open. Hey, we'll skip the grass bounce, so we'll just go into a push. To the single whip. Don't pinch the shoulder blades. Keep them nice and relaxed. But keep upright. Single whip. Cloud hand. Okay, I'll do 3 cloud hands. Okay. So for cloud hand, you do 3, then you would do another single whip. Okay. Relax your arm down. So lift the hands. And then relax the arms down again. I'll go ahead and step back to wide crane spread wings. Okay, then we go into the next move called brush knee. Remember, everything is here in the legs. Okay. There we go, right? There we go. Push off. Needle at the bottom of the C. Keep breathing. Use your hip hinge. Use your glutes, your strong glutes. Come up, drive off the heel of the back leg. Finish to the back. Turn and chop. Okay. Let's unwind the turn and chop. And we'll go ahead and do the cross hands to finish.